Napkins in Disguise, after TBD lost earlier today, have catapulted themselves into 3rd place, but they definitely want to try to take down the top dog to secure themselves that 3rd seed spot for now.
So we see Gleebglarbu's got the stun rather charged up. This is always that ridiculously strong threat coming out from Annie level 1, and it's going to buy Napkins in Disguise pretty much the space to do whatever they want to get done in this level 1. As right now, it's just Brunch and Chuuper trading in the mid lane, and Chuuper sort of dominating that.
Well, Chuuper came out a little bit ahead in that one, and what they did get is the information that Brunch has already leveled up his Q. So he has the switcheroo available. He's not going to have a zap for a jungle invade or anything like that. So a little information gathered there by CompLexity. They did wind up putting down a ward for themselves over by the red buff area. So they do have some idea if NID got any scouting for themselves. We do see 2 wards on opposite sides of the map for each team going by their enemy red buff area. Could potentially just see blue buff starts with both of them, though, as NinJaken's Jarvan and ScubaChris's Vi might wind up meeting up towards opposite sides of the map if that's the case of this one. We'll have to wind up seeing here, as it looks like there's going to be no further aggression at the beginning of this game.
It's back in right here. Got some wards down. Everybody's got wards on the red buff. Everyone wants to know when junglers are coming to kill them. Turns out that's kind of important information, generally speaking. Knowing when junglers are coming to kill you. InnoX starting with a Doran shield, as he's expecting to find himself in the 1v1 up here in the top lane. It's going to give him the health regeneration that he needs, combined with his skill set. Talk to us a little about Riven versus Rumble, because that seems like a relatively one-sided lane matchup.
Well, Riven against Rumble, it's definitely going to be a lane that's heavily in favor of whoever gets the first jungle gank. It's going to be extremely crucial for that. If you wind up having... Both laners can snowball extremely hard, and in the early game, Riven's going to be able to put out a lot of damage onto Rumble, but actually, bottom lane, there's a lot of damage going down already onto MeyeA, as he and Chuuper just took a lot of aggression from a Gleebglarbu stun, as well as that switcheroo, the range form coming in here from Brunch, so a lot of damage being put down here. Now, Glee's going to eat a lot of trouble for himself, Chuuper getting traded down upon, and this 80 carry support combination is actually dealing a lot more damage than we thought in the early game.
Yeah, it's about aggression right now, like from the side of CompLexity. Chuuper and MeyeA just want to shove the wave over as quickly as they can and just poke them down while they're under the tower. Dark Nguyen, when there's only 2 targets around for it to bounce to, if they're standing anywhere near each other, is insanely effective. Not only at keeping the silence down so that there's no reprisal, but also at just dealing ridiculous amounts of damage. You get all those bounces down. ScubaChris getting caught out here by NinJaken.
Yeah, he had his red buff stolen away by NinJaken, it looks like, right there. So NinJaken just avoiding his blue buff entirely and blowing the flash away from ScubaChris. ScubaChris getting extremely low, taking down those double golems as well. But, I mean, that's a summoner spell burned, a buff stolen away, and Chris is only going to wind up having 1 for himself.
Absolutely, yeah. The 3 buff control from NinJaken here early on. Very, very nice play from him, recognizing exactly how aggressive his Jarvan can be early on. And this is why we've seen Jarvan be so popular of late. He's just, not only is he able to scale well into the late game, not only are his ganks strong, but he has this opportunity to just go in at level 2, take away a buff, and just be a complete bully and just smash the other jungler. And even against 5, which is not a champion you expect to see that happen to.
Ooh, Brunch taking a lot of damage right here from a combination of a Fear, a Dark Wind, and of course the skill set coming out from Chuuper's Lucian, bullying him around in the early stage of this laning phase, whereas on the top side we see InnoX and MegaZero trading damage back and forth. MegaZero a little worse in the CS against InnoX in that top lane matchup, but we'll have to see. Our attention diverted to the bottom lane here. NinJaken shows up, flash throw from MeyeA, burns a flash away from Brunch, but now Gleeb is left under the tower all by himself in a 3v1 potential dive situation. Brunch has to go back, and he has to heal himself up. ScubaChris was so far behind in his jungle, not only through experience, but through those buffs, that he had to wind up going clearing some small camps, and he's just getting to the vicinity right now. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled on this. So NinJaken looks like he did back away from that, but there's constant aggression on the map from CompLexity early on because they have that advantage through their jungler.
It's really scary to dive in Annie this early on because Ignite plus her burst damage plus the stun is basically going to guarantee that whoever it is that initiates the dive is probably going to die, unless it's like Fiddlestick's doing it max range and then just holding off until the Annie's dead before he clears tower aggro. NinJaken is continuing to abuse his jungle, and nubbypoohbear's going to have to use his flash.
Yeah, Nubby's flash is down as well, so NinJaken just burning flashes left and right here. There's 3 down from the side of NID because his Jarvan's been all across the map. So now with that one down from nubbypoohbear, he's an easy to gank target in the mid lane. MegaZero overheats on InnoX in the top lane, drops the Ignite as well, and a lot of damage being put down on the InnoX is now that Rumble has some levels in those abilities, that Flame Spitter is just tearing through InnoX's magic resistance.
Sorry about that little microphone issue here. So probably in the mid lane is, I mean, he's keeping himself in this one. The usage of the Crystal and Flask plus all of the health potions is making it such that the Zyra harass isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. And NinJaken getting that flash off is going to be huge. It's going to do a lot of work towards keeping nubbypoohbear honest in this lane. ScubaChris getting completely dominated by NinJaken as well. Another huge thing. It's going to help Probably out quite a bit. Because generally speaking, if he knows that if he's not sure rather where Vi is, if he gets rooted up, he has to be very afraid of that. Before he hits level 6 and he has Rift Duck available, he has to watch out for those ganks because, as you mentioned before, he's significantly squishier now than he was before the patch. But the fact that ScubaChris has been basically spending the entire game trying to recover from getting kind of just crash stomped at level 2. And then now he's trying to get himself back into the game, trying to find other lanes where he can get some relatively easy experience, some relatively easy gold. He hasn't been able to apply that pressure in the mid lane.
No, there's not a lot of pressure in anywhere from NID's side, except for this top lane where InnoX has pretty much just decided to live in front of MegaZero's tower here. Both those top laners have gone back and picked up some itemization for themselves, as have the AD carries. You see Chuuper going for an early phase potential here. Brunch does not have his flash available, winds up walking back into a fear from Fiddlestick. First blood's gonna wind up going over to NinJaken right there. Those early blown flashes paying dividends right now for CompLexity.
Great gank coming out there from NinJaken. They tried to funnel it over to Chuuper, but at the end of the day, it was just like, you know what? I just need to pick up this kill. We just need to get this out as quickly as possible. Plus, getting a Jarvan out ahead is never a bad thing. As InnoX, gets chunked down in another trade, and we see CompLexity. They're going to try to take a tower for this as well.
Yeah, that bottom lane tower is going to wind up falling here to the aggression of 3 strong from CompLexity, and the ability to potentially go for a dragon with nubbypoohbear would look like he wanted to go towards top lane is a very large possibility here. 3 members strong from CompLexity are rotating around to that area right now, and it looks like they might wind up securing it for themselves. Brunch is only level 4. There's way far away from getting that ult to potentially go for a steal, and ScubaChris is so focused on trying to power farm his small jungle camps to stay relevant in this one that he's not even in the area of the map to contest this. So we have Probably coming down from the mid lane. Easy dragon picked up right here for CompLexity, and 2 objectives back to back.
And this is just nice, clean play from them. This is exactly what they need. It's going to get them a 2,500 gold advantage at the 7.5 minute mark. CompLexity going to be very pleased with their play so far. They're controlling the global objectives. They have the tower. They have the they have the first dragon coming down. They also have the only kill going on the board. Right now, everything's coming up aces for them.
CompLexity definitely going to be happy about this very aggressive early game for them. ScubaChris tried to get a little aggressive and potentially go for a red buff steal against NinJaken. NinJaken body blocking the vault breaker. He's going to wind up just blocking it from there. ScubaChris has to burn his flash as soon as it's back available for him, and now Probably chasing down. He has Riftwalk available. Is he going to wind up trying to chunk down ScubaChris? Riftwalk comes through, and there's a pulse coming out. He's going to wind up picking up a kill there. Rumble coming out from the side. Long range equalizer on the nubbypoohbear. Locks up NinJaken in tower range. Ignited down. 1 kill comes back for nubbypoohbear. Kassadin has to Riftwalk away at extremely low HP, so they trade 1 for 1 and give nubbypoohbear a much needed kill. Top lane, no aggression's not done yet. InnoX in a 1v2 situation. Can he get down MeyeA? Ignite ticking and the execute damage coming out from the blade. That is enough for InnoX to pick up a kill, but can Chuuper finish the deal? In comes the dash and the shield. Chuuper under tower. Takes 1, takes 2, doesn't get the kill. 3 shots in a barrier pop from that one. InnoX in a 1v2 turns it around, and all of a sudden it's NID making moves across the map as bottom lane tower falls to Brunch and Gleebglarbu.
Oh man, this is a huge swing right now for the side of Napkins in disguise, and CompLexity really could not afford for so many things to go wrong for them all at once. Probably, he doesn't have his flash now. He was just barely able to get himself out of this one. NinJaken, who was building a lot of momentum, is going to lose a lot of it now, having given that one up. Probably, he still does have the teleport available, so CompLexity, they definitely have an opportunity to make another big play happen right here. But the fact that Chuuper went so hard for that kill and didn't get paid on it is not going to be very good for him on that one. And also InnoX. How many times have we watched Rivens go into 1v2s, nuke down one target, and then get themselves back out? That's such a... You always have to watch out for that kind of play if you're ever in a situation like that, especially if you are a squishy champion like Fiddlesticks.
And the thing of it is, too, when you have best Riven and NA on your team, you think you'd be a little bit more hit to the jive that Riven can put out on you. As we see, trying to get aggressive on MeyeA, he has yet to hit level 6, whereas because they were in that bottom lane all by themselves, Glebe and Brunch have been able to power level themselves in that situation. Chuuper has level 6, and the culling is actually on cooldown. He used that and then engaged in top lane, but he his support was not quite on par, so now slight advantages on certain characters for NID, despite early motion from the side of CompLexity. NinJaken does have one thing in his repertoire, though, that ScubaChris doesn't, and that is this boots of mobility pickup, so he's still going to be able to apply pressure on Chris, and if Chris is going to try to duel him, it's not going to work out. There's an extra Doran's Blade for NinJaken and double buffs on his side, so he's still going to be able to bully ScubaChris around, so NID, their communication's going to have to be on point. They're going to have to wait for CompLexity to miscommunicate again to capitalize on it, because right now they're still far behind and that jungler can't be relied on for absolute support.
And right now, probably, I mean, he's still getting everything that he wants to get done. You see, he's harassing NubbyPoohbear on this one. He's got the Tear of the Goddess starting to charge up. He's picked up the Spell Pen Boots as well, so he's got the roam potential. The ult's used up in the top lane.
Ooh, actually, ScubaChris does make an impact as he says, get dunked onto Chuuper. Culling comes off, and in comes the teleport. It's actually canceled by NubbyPoohbear right there. Don't exactly know how that wound up going down, but it looks like Stranglethorns is still available, so there's no knock-up. The root must have stopped him from that one. ScubaChris winds up getting locked up on your tower. There's a Cataclysm and a Crowstorm come out, but NinJaken taking out extremely low. Can InnoX get the execute? No, he gets feared up instead. Double kill goes over to MeyeA, and that's CompLexity turning around to gank in favor of their own.
16 HP left on NinJaken, and him getting taken out so low is what made that out. NubbyPoohbear in a lot of trouble in mid.
Yeah, he has to actually wind up flashing away here, but he's on an equalizer here. MegaZero gonna wind up dueling with him. The roots wind up locking up Probably, but there's not enough damage on that Zyra passer to execute him. Another roaming kill for CompLexity. A top tower is gonna go down in their favor in a couple of seconds at least, and that's them making motions across the map now, taking back control of the game.
And MeyeA just wants to make sure that this tower does indeed go down. He really wants that gold. As he's heading back, I mean, he's got 1,100 gold in the inventory, so yeah, that makes sense. He would want to take that down. He actually has the highest number of kills on the side of CompLexity right now. As you see, all sorts of cooldowns getting used in the bottom lane, but realistically, they just take MegaZero kind of low-ish.
Yeah, MegaZero and Glebe kind of getting very low HP bars in that circumstance, but Ultimate, actually not even Ultimates really, just one coming out from Jinx is on cooldown. The Tibbers actually had been popped by Gleebglarbu as well, as it's just walking behind him with Franken Tibbers and Bride of Franken Tibbers, Annie, I guess is what it is, but now it's CompLexity. They're the ones making motion around the map. We said boots of mobility means that NinJaken can be there to counteract what ScubaChris is doing or bully him around. The mobility of Kassadin is a big factor in these games, or in these ganks, because he can wind up showing up or he can pop in and out of these gank engagements as well. CompLexity have their sights set on objectives first though, as they're going for this last outer tower in the mid lane. Probably going forward with the Rift Walk to try to get some zone defense. MeyeA though, taking a couple too many tower shots right there, dropped extremely low. They're actually going to have to back away from this one here. Oh, the super mega death rocket takes out MeyeA. Long range snipe there. No scope needed for Brunch as he picks up a kill for himself and gets a red buff applied to himself. Now InnoX and MegaZero going in top lane. MegaZero with a level advantage has to flash away though, but there's Probably comes in and gets MegaZero a kill on InnoX, and that's the mobility we just talked about, Malfus. Oh wait, there's more action. Get dunked, says ScubaChris as he goes down on a Chuuper. Decides to get the vault breaker down to NinJaken, but he's stuck behind the tower. Flashes out of the Cataclysm. Can he stay alive? Q goes down, but Chuuper picks up a kill on Brunch. In comes cleanup duty from Probly. Picks himself up a kill on the ScubaChris. NinJaken gets low. Probly takes some damage. NubbyPoohbear is low. Knock up there from the flag and drag. Gleebglarbu is in the next target here. His sights set out by Chuuper and Probly. 2 kills for Probly. Everybody from NID is dead. That is an ace on the map here for CompLexity.
Yeah, InnoX, he was still dead. The announcer just didn't give it over to the side of CompLexity here. But man, the response and the mobility. We've talked about the mobility again and again. Chuuper's able to blink forward. MegaZero's got so much speed coming out with his scrap shield. Probably can rip walk around. NinJaken's got EQ combos he can throw down. There's so much mobility from this side. And Probably. Oh, InnoX, is he fast enough? Oh, we're not going to find out. Probably's going to spot that out. He's going to get himself out of there. Okay. Man. What an engagement. And just so much aggression coming out from the side of Napkins in disguise. I mean, they were going for big dives. They're trying to make big plays happen. ScubaChris using the ult, getting himself behind the tower, and then just immediately regretting that decision. We saw Brunch try to make something of that as he stepped forward and tried to use the zap to snipe somebody down at max range, but ended up just putting himself in tower range and went down because of it. So Napkins in disguise right now, their aggression is causing them some difficulties, but it's also the one thing that's keeping champions like NinJaken's Jarvan from just rolling all over them. It's one of the few things that's keeping Probly from being even more farmed and even more effective of a roamer than he already is. Although 3-0-3 on his Kassadin with the Rod of Ages already done with the Tear of the Goddess at the 14-minute mark is pretty terrifying.
Now this is CompLexity. Just what they've done is been able to identify how NID play the game and target down key factors. ScubaChris in the early game funnels kills to his lanes and is able to set things up. Putting him behind early on means that not only is his mental state a little hazy, but his help is just not available. Singling out the newest target of the team in Brunch as well for those early ganks and picking up kills extremely quick on him was another really good, just psychological play that CompLexity has developed against NID. Even though nubbypoohbear and InnoX aren't doing the worst in the world in their respective lane matchups, they're still falling behind because the entire state of NID is just not all together. CubaChris and InnoX are going to combine for a little bit of team synergy right here. The ultimate goes out. InnoX popping his own, walking across the equalizer. MegaZero just kind of trotting away for now. nubbypoohbear is going to try to intercept him right here. Puts down the roots, puts down the plants, and they're going to get CubaChris the kill actually as he vault breakers over the wall.
But you see, they brought so many forces up near the top lane. The response from CompLexity is just to take away the red buff. Now they step forward here. They want to apply some pressure onto this tower. They want to be able to take this one down. And Brunch and Gleebglarbu, they cannot step out into this one. If they do try, the likelihood of them getting feared up after a Fiddlestick ultimate coming out right here, he gets over the fat part of the wall.
Oh, Gleebglarbu taking a lot of damage from the culling. Never thought I'd say that in the same sentence right there. He winds up going down there to Lucian. Double kill picked up for Chuuper. Cataclysm goes down to nubbypoohbear. A lot of damage coming out, and it's a triple kill for Chuuper's Lucian right there. He's taking up 3 kills in this fight, and they're not quite done yet. Brunch is the next target. Quadra kill for Lucian right there. Chuuper picks up 4 for himself. 2 towers are going to go down for this one. InnoX has to recall and try to defend right here, but that is a lot of members of CompLexity left alive. Some low blinking health bars, but the tower goes down, and InnoX is just nowhere near to defend.
That was a monstrous initiation from MeyeA, just abusing the terrain to extend the range on Crowstorm, putting him out behind the tower. And just as soon as he showed up, he just dealt so much damage. The initiation was right there. The rest of the team, they just abused that mobility. I mean, there's no other way to put it. This has just been abuse right now. They know that they have a mechanic where they sorely outclass Napkins in Disguise right now, and their ability to simply chase them across the map and make plays happen. And they're doing it again and again and again. They are up over 10,000 gold right now, and Napkins in Disguise, they're going to be hard-pressed to find an answer.
It's a 17-minute game right now with that 10,000 gold advantage for CompLexity. 5 towers compared to 1. Every single dragon so far has gone in their favor, and it's 14-5 in the kills. The unrelenting pressure is something that we normally wouldn't expect out of the older CompLexity, and with all the synergy that Lotta Mortis brought to the top lane between him and MegaZero and him and Prolly, NinJaken is filling in perfectly right here. Now we see Prolly already, the Fed Kassadin, the snowball starting, just 1v1ing Brunch, NinJaken coming in and getting the kill towards the end of that one right there, and that is just the power of a snowballing, not just Kassadin, but a snowballing Prolly in the mid lane.
Absolutely, and actually, since the last time we checked in on him, he's been able to secure 5 assists for himself, but no further kills. It's not really that big of a deal because so much of what he's trying to buy is very gold-efficient stats as he's going in for this one. And Chuuper going to try to re-engage onto ScubaChris. Gleebglarbu feared up!
Oh, there's the culling coming out. Glebe knows what happened last time that was popped. Flashes away from that one after the fear winds up running out. And now it's CompLexity sieging down on a bottom lane inhibitor at the 18-minute mark. NID, are they going to be able to defend this one? It doesn't look like it, as they are without their AD carry. As he joins the fray, the inhibitor winds up going down, and that is CompLexity taking another advantage on this map. And now there's going to be super minions pushing down into Napkins in Disguise's base.
And this is the bottom lane inhibitor as well. This is one of the more crucial inhibitors to take down because it opens up the Baron area so well. They already have pink wards around, so it's already a very risky proposition for the side of Napkins in Disguise to try to approach the Baron pit. But if they have to do that while being cognizant of super creeps pushing down the bottom lane into their base, that's just even more pressure that's being applied to them that forces them to try to move in quickly if they're going to try to make something happen, and moving quickly into a team with Fiddlesticks is a really great way to get feared up and killed.
Yeah, not to mention that, but moving quickly into a team that has a large advantage over you is not necessarily a good thing. There's a lot of potential to pick somebody off and just absolutely have a domino effect into a spiraling team fight. You mentioned Fiddlesticks, but there's also the Jarvan. There's the Equalizer to catch somebody and lay it across a team and just scatter them completely. ScubaChris, all by him lonesome up here in this top lane, has to burn his ultimate, as well as MeyeA trying to use his own Crowstorm to set something up right there. Or sorry, the flash actually burned away from ScubaChris. I don't know why I said ultimate. But MeyeA trades the flash for the ultimate right there, and they're continuously trying to push NID back into their base, trying to corral them on their side of the map and say, listen, we have absolute control of this one, you have to try to react to where we're going.
So we see, once again, CompLexity stretching the map out, applying pressure. Prolly's in the mid lane, pushing down the tower. Getting some decent damage as he's completed that Archangel staff up. But here's a fight.
Glebe actually gets locked up in the Cataclysm, and the culling goes off, and he actually winds up going down to Fiddlestick. So there's ScubaChris in the background. Teleport goes off from Probably, but he cancels it, and he's just going to come in from behind instead. MegaZero in the backlines in the fray, gets down extremely low. Chuuper gets a kill on ScubaChris, and MegaZero gets out alive, blinking from overheating and blinking low health. Brunch winds it going down to NinJaken, and that's a 3-0 in favor of CompLexity, and they set their sights on Baron.
CompLexity have complete control of this one right now. It almost seems as if they can't lose a fight. They didn't have Probably available to them there. It didn't matter. They were able to come back in. They were able to take control of it. Granted, InnoX wasn't there either, and he's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, damage threats right now on the side of Napkins in Disguise. But they don't have any answers. And as we were talking about before, Super Creeps are inside the base, and that's going to open this Baron up for CompLexity, even though they're incredibly low and having to be so careful about how they manage the aggro.
Well, it's a 20-minute Baron, so his stats are definitely deadly, but not as high as they could potentially be as the game winds up going on. And with multiple members of CompLexity in the area to trade off the DPS on themselves, they're able to secure that one for all of them, including MegaZero, who barely survived what I want to say was sub 25 HP in that last engagement here. So definitely CompLexity are looking sharp in this one. 18 kills to 5. They have a Baron buff. They have a 12,500 gold advantage at 21 minutes into the game, Malfus. It is completely wide open to them. And with that Baron buff, even if they overextend, even if they make a mistake, they are just leaps and bounds ahead of Napkins in Disguise that they might not even be able to punish them for an overextension.
All right, so we called Probably out for being ahead and for having a pretty decent stack of kills. He was 3-0-3. We've successfully stopped him from getting a kill since then. Us, single-handedly, it's our fault.
High five.
He should grab himself up. High five. He's grabbed himself 6 more assists since then, so that's going to be good for completing the Archangel step. And he's grabbed himself up a Fiendish Codex as well. So a little bit of extra ability power, but the cooldown reduction is what's really important for him right now. That's arguably one of the most effective stats he can add onto his champion at this point in the game, other than just raw ability power. He needs to be able to just continue spamming out. He's going with that Force Pulse Max, so whenever he has that available to himself, he's able to just chunk down large areas of enemies. And this is terrifying right now. Napkins in Disguise, they know that they're on the clock. There are Super Creeps pushing in on the bottom lane. They can't stick around and defend this tower forever, and CompLexity are in no rush.
Well, we talked about the snowball effect. Kassadin snowballing, Lucian snowballing, Rumble snowballing, and even Jarvan out of the jungle getting a snowball on for himself. CompLexity have definitely rode kind of the aggression train in this game to much advantage, and it all started from some early motions in the enemy jungle and inhibiting what NID could do to respond. Now they're pushing them into their base and limiting their options once again. Right now, for NID, the options are defend against Super Creeps and give up the tower, or engage on a Baron up CompLexity and pretty much charge headfirst into their doom. If they sit here on this tower for too long, Super Minions are going to push down on those Nexus towers and slowly but surely chip them away. If they fight CompLexity, well, it's not going to look very good. Look at Gleebglarbu getting chunked down way below half HP from just one combo from that very fed Kassadin coming out from Probably.
And Chuuper is, I mean, he's finding time. He's not playing Caitlyn. He's not playing a champion that excels at just taking that tower down away from range. There's no Tristana in his hands. He's playing the Lucian instead. Lucian does have some good answers this as well. With his passive, he's able to get those double auto attacks onto the tower. Then, you know, that's pretty good work. But they have to buy him a lot of space for that. CompLexity, they're doing what they can to buy him that space. But thus far, the rotations coming out from Napkins in Disguise have been pretty on point. They're keeping their towers as healthy as they possibly can. And ScubaChris is getting pulled in way too far.
Oh, the Rift Walk away from Probably makes ScubaChris go a little bit too far. Everybody's in the Cataclysm except for nubbypoohbear, and that's a shooting gallery for Chuuper. Takes down Gleebglarbu. Double kill picked up from Probably going into the backlines here, and that's a triple kill for him. A full house as an ace comes out. 2 for Chuuper, 3 for Probably. The GGs come, and CompLexity just run over Napkins in Disguise in 24 minutes. It's the final game of the day, Malfus, and they end it completely quick.
This is one of the more one-sided victories that we've seen in the NACL thus far. And CompLexity, I mean, you just have to take your hat off to them. What incredible play. So aggressive, so very early on. NinJaken, as soon as he started that snowball rolling, they just ran through with it. And look at Chuuper's score at the end of the game. 8-0-10 on his Lucian. Just a standout performance from him.
Yeah, and keep in mind, guys, it all started with the early jungle snowball from NinJaken. Then they secured first blood on Brunch that let Chuuper get the ball rolling. Then they wound up moving and they tried to contest InnoX in a 2v1, but that was a bad idea. So then they wound up sending up jungle pressure up there to make sure that that wound up helping as well. Probably survived the laning phase against nubbypoohbear's Zyra harass, and it just wound up going out of control from there. Dragons and towers and barons, oh my, wound up falling into CompLexity's favor, and they net themselves a win and stay at the top of the Ancient Golem Conference ahead of the next closest competition is Curse Academy. While Napkins in Disguise, they fall back down into a tie for third place with to be determined at 6 and 9.
Man, I think we got it. I think we nailed it.
I think we did.
Yeah.
Definitely.
CompLexity are really good at this game.
Yeah, CompLexity is definitely looking scary. Yeah. And I mean, you have to bring up the fact that when in the losing of Lauda Mortis in the jungle presence, the big question was how quickly can they adapt and how often does this happen to poor CompLexity? Just a couple weeks before the spring promotion qualifiers are going to come out, or a month and a couple of weeks, give or take. It's sometime towards December. So last time, it was they lost their AD carry and they had to switch roles around. Now they have to bring a completely new member into the team, but they're looking fantastic here against a very strong opponent who's also qualified in NID.
Yeah, and we'll see exactly. I mean, NinJaken obviously is an excellent player. There's no doubting his mechanical skills. He's certainly played enough games to really hone his talents and really bring his full power to bear every time around. It's all about incorporating him into the team, and especially with CompLexity. CompLexity have always been one of the most tight-knit tight-knit teams in the competitive scene in North America, whether we're talking LCS, Challenge, or anything else. I mean, they're just such a great group of friends. It can be difficult to bring someone new into that mix and to have them feel like they're in a place where they're comfortable and where everything's just firing on all cylinders as it was. Especially, I mean, Lauda Mortis was a big part of the heart of that team.
Definitely was. But with that victory, you can see that the heart is still in CompLexity, and they're not giving up the fight just because they had to bring somebody else into their CompLexity family. So, guys, you can see on the screen already, it's been a slew of awesome games. The winners are marked with a W on the screen, and tomorrow's schedule is one not to disappoint. We're going to kick things off with Napkins in Disguise looking to bounce back against GGLA, who Yuzuki is looking on fire right now. And that's a scary thing to have, is Yuzuki back looking in top form. Then we have Velocity Esports taking on Team Curse, TBD going up against Curse Academy, and we're closing out the night with another CompLexity game as they take on Cognitive.
It's going to be quite fun. Do not miss that, guys. 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, as we are on Standard Time now, is going to be the start time for that one. And sadly, I'll be at work, so I won't be able to watch that. But I'm going to watch the VODs. I'll tell you that. Right now.
You definitely can watch the VODs, Malfus. And if you guys wind up tuning in a little bit late to this stream, you can watch the VODs, of course, anytime you want. All you have to do is, since you have Twitch chat open anyway, because I know everybody loves Twitch chat, click on the videos tab. You can see all the videos and recordings, or you can just click on NACL Esports. Heck, you could follow and subscribe to us as well. And you'll be able to check out all the VODs, of course, in glorious whatever ADP source is considered. I'm going to say whatever P source is. You can watch it in glorious source P at your leisure, ladies and gentlemen. But that is going to be it for us. My name has been Optimus Tom.
And I've been MalfusX.
And guys, we will see you tomorrow night for more NACL action.